and Woden travel deep underneath Krishnak into some long abandoned ruins where they discovered a few things that they perhaps didn't necessarily know much about or didn't investigate much more beyond simply stumbling across it. They came across a few peculiar creatures that Woden pointed out to them and made sure to stay away from them as well. But upon getting close to one of them, it seemed as though they weren't necessarily aggressive or looking to fight in any kind of way. They were just kind of scouring the ruins and looking for certain items, which might resemble the one that Jax had picked up in the ruins as well. You then eventually found a rune, a dwarvish rune, which was quite different from all the other infernal runes that were in this particular area, that then teleported you over to a different area that might have been on a different plane or within this plane, in a pocket plane, you're unsure, but it took you away elsewhere. And that is where you found the individual that you had been looking for, the seer Thruffle Grimstone. You had a conversation with him about potentially returning to the city, as you guys needed him to return, or at the very least, the king said he needed him to return for him to be able to justify sending out their troops. And he had a couple requests, demands even, before he actually were to return. And ID agreed to at least pass on those requests to the king and had a separate conversation entirely with this individual in her head. And we had left the session off as you were being teleported back to Krishnak. And we'll pick it up right there, as there was a moment of heat that expanded around all of you and took you away. And the moment you were leaving, all of you saw a perhaps somewhat creepy smile on the seer's face before you were taken away and then reappeared within moments in Krishnak atop the teleportation circle that you had first arrived on as well.
Taken
And
away downtown.
taken away downtown. And I'm gonna pass it
Walking
over to
fast.
all of you right here. Oh my god. What the hell? Yeah. The stage is yours.
Well, let's not dilly-dally here. We've got business to do with the king and then be back.
What next escorts you? These grunts and escorts.
Okay. Woden will guide both Heidi and Jax toward the king's chambers. There's a couple guards here and there that glance at you curiously, but upon seeing Woden with you and then perhaps also recognizing you from your brief time here, relax a little bit as you continue walking toward the king's chambers. And you then arrive at this massive door that you had seen last time as well. And there's two guards stationed outside that door. It would be your trusted friends Doracoid and Durivroli, Metal Tank and Cave Mall, respectively.
Nice.
Oh, you're back. You got here so quickly.
Mm.
Did everything go right? No troubles?
Mm.
They kind of both... I assume these two have spent a good amount of time around you, and they both just nod sagely. They fully understand what you're saying
Yes.
here.
Yes. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
They absolutely
Look
get
at
the
them
vibe.
like, you're communicating?
Mm. No, sorry. I forgot you're not as used as my grunts.
No, it's
He's a
fine.
man of
Go
few
ahead.
words, but the words are usually good when he does open his mouth.
Mm.
All right, y'all ready to see the king? The king's been waiting.
Hmm?
We are, yes.
Mm.
Both of them will once again nod sagely at Woden's very expressive grunts here, and we're going to push open these very heavy doors and allow all three of you to look inside. And as last time, there's just a couple guards kind of stationed near the walls of the throne room, and the King Nozomir Ironmantle himself is sat atop the throne. And as the doors open, he looks over at all of you and hollers out as he recognizes you. Oh, you're back so quickly! Did everything go right?
Well, we have teleported back here. It was quite expeditious since our common friend has a teleportation setup at his new place.
Of course he would. Well, is he coming back?
He may come back, but there is a condition.
Kind of rolls his eyes. Of course, the old. I would have conditions here. What does he want?
Well, to be fair to him, his condition is nothing too extreme, I would say, for a for the price of course, protecting the entire city of his own accord and allowing all of us to go defend the realm together. What he desires would be that your majesty issue an apology to him for not having believed in him when he warned you of the impending dangers.
There is a difficult expression on his face. Give me an insight check ID.
Can I make one too?
Go for it. I think both of you might have different insights here due to your personalities, perhaps, but go for it. I'll start with Woden. The king is most of the time a relatively composed individual, but as most dwarves tend to be, he also has his moments where he kind of explodes a little bit, is a little bit on the angry side of things. And that kind of expression seems to build a little bit within him at this time. Heidi, while you do see that as well, you interpret something perhaps slightly different also. There is a certain pride within this individual, be it because he's a dwarf or he's a king or it's simply his own personality. But this request, although fair probably in your eyes and probably in the eyes of many, seems to strike a certain chord within him that hurts his pride. And he's trying not to show it, but you're a very insightful individual, and for better or worse, there is a certain amount of pride within you as well. And so you do recognize that certain look of annoyance or even hurt within him. Hurt, perhaps because deep down he knows that he did fuck up. But that's tough to admit for anyone. And he doesn't speak quite yet. So if there's anything you'd like to do while he processes and you watch him kind of try to take a deep breath and just take a moment so that he doesn't lose his composure entirely in front of foreigners. There's a moment of silence.
Um, delicate footing. I will choose to remain silent for the time being and wait for his response.
A couple seconds pass. 10, 15, 30 seconds. In which you then also notice that all of the guards are particularly still, perhaps expecting the outburst. And then the king speaks. An apology. Did you say it was public? Sorry.
I think I did, yeah.
Okay, I assume you would have.
Yeah. Indeed, a public apology for the treatment he was given. Although obviously your majesty had no way of knowing for certain what was about to happen at the time.
It will be done. It seems necessary. Looking at the grander picture here. If you have any way of communicating that with him, please do so. The king agrees. And to Jax, he responds by simply kind of nodding in your direction. Doesn't seem like a very convincing gesture necessarily, or that he truly feels it is honorable. And I did you catch that in particular? This is more because he knows and understands what his duties are. And he already made a mistake just not too long ago. Jax. He already made a mistake not too long ago, and he feels that it wouldn't look great on his kingly resume to make another so quickly right after.
Very well. We will return to... what was his official name?
Thruffle
Thruffle.
Grimstone.
Thruffle, yeah. We can return to Grimstone's abode by the same means with which we used to return here and iron out the last few details. I suspect he will wish to return with us the next time we are back, but given that we are using teleportation, I doubt it is going to take very long. For my part, I must also commend your majesty for a wise and level-headed decision that will benefit all involved, I believe.
I hope you're right. My people have gone through far too much trouble as of late.
Indeed.
Is there anything else?
For the time being, no. That is what we came here to discuss, and in the interest of expediting the whole process for everyone, we should probably be heading back to Mr. Grimstone's.
There is one more thing Thruffle had asked of you. I don't
Oh,
want to
is
make
there?
you go. Yeah, I don't want to make you go there and back and then remind you over there. But he had asked for a national holiday in his name.
Wait, that was serious?
You
He
thought
asked for
he
it.
was joking?
I thought he was joking.
He
That's-
asked for it.
That's on you.
Now, I'll say, he asked for it, And I just wanted to remind you, he said it, but you can interpret that as you wish. I just didn't want to make you go there and then him say, so what about the holiday? And you have
He
to
did
come
not
back.
specifically say what it had to be called.
Okay.
Well, in his name. But
yeah, he
yes.
said in his name.
Oh, well.
So it has to be something like, the Grimstone Day or like whatever. Anyway, I will. Well, with that settled, there is another matter. A secondary condition, if you will, from his side.
The eyes narrow.
I will be frank. I do believe that should the apology be issued, it would be perhaps possible to negotiate this part. Though I'm sure it would appease him to concede on this point. He also asked to have a national holiday in his name.
Mm. And the king and the others would know that grunt to be a prick.
King kind of slams his fist on the armrest of his throne. A holiday?
Yes, a holiday.
There ain't even a fucking holiday in my name.
You can make one, my lord.
Well, one can only add so many holidays until the productivity of the people begins to dwindle.
Kind of gestures at Heidi like, exactly.
That one was a mumble grunt.
What are you going to suggest next? A 4-day work week?
Well, it's shown in studies to actually be much more productive. You know what? It doesn't matter.
You can tell him he can shove that holiday up his rear.
I will gracefully tell him that this request was denied, but that the king will insist on issuing the apology as agreed.
Oh yes, I insist. And I'll do it personally when he's face to face with me.
Very well. We will be delivering the news to him then. And be back here soon enough.
Kind of sighs deeply. Thank you for your efforts. We really need this man back, huh?
It would seem his talents are necessary, Your Majesty.
Very well. Let me know if he insists on that holiday. I've got a good holiday in mind for him. Kind of reaches for his axe.
Your Majesty, I ask that you do not let your emotions get the best of you. Considering we are dealing with a person who we indeed need favors from, and that none here have the comparable talents to provide, lacking his own. Already turns to what? Already turns to what? Translate.
Well, Woden? What did he say?
You want me to just decide it? I
Please
will.
go for it.
How to say so many things in such. The king will do what's necessary. But also, fuck that guy.
He's not happy about it. Yes, I know. Men. Okay, we're going back.
This is the best shit I've ever done.
You know, like, but you know how rogues have,
Yeah.
But dwarves can't fucking talk.
I love this new
Alright.
lore.
This is fantastic. I'm keeping that one.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. All right, Heidi. Presumably you leave the throne room. How do you want to go about this? Do you want to do your own circle, go back to the circle that's here, and kind of just do that thing? What's the move?
See, that's the thing.
Mhm.
This is the point where Heidi would probably try to shake Woden off. So she can actually like talk to Jax privately about things that
Mhm.
might be not not in the dwarves' best interest, but like not related to them either. But I also kind of like I don't want to shake like a player character also like.
You
You
do
can
as you
do it.
want.
Okay,
He
in that
is
case,
he's not a filler, but he is part of this particular location. So
yeah.
your relationship with him is different. You do as you want.
Okay, in that case, I will go. Well, I will be beginning to draw the teleportation circle back there immediately, and since it's a direct trip there and we no longer are going to need guidance or protection, I don't believe it's necessary for you to accompany us anymore.
Mm, a melancholy but understanding grunt.
Jax
Don't
goes,
don't make that face.
He pulls his beard up so you can only see his eyes.
He pulls his beard up.
Hmm?
Jax wanted to say something. Sorry.
yeah, Jax goes,
Ida telepathically to Jax, Ida says, "There are things I must share with you, and we can't have others around."
Jax to that goes, huh?
Shh, don't react out loud, you idiot.
Hmm?
Jax just like has a confused look on his face.
Anyway, we'll finish negotiations with the Rune Master, and hopefully we'll be back here with him in, maybe an hour at best.
Aye. Do what you need to.
Okay. Thank you very much for your assistance, Woden. You have been excellent, and should everything go as planned, you will probably be joining us at our new headquarters, wherever it's built. Look forward to it.
He'll pull out his hand. I'm not sure how ubiquitous it is, but like, how nobility and women tend to like fingers first, that type of thing.
Oh, fingers first.
Oh,
Me when you're girl.
me when you're girl. And he'll just sort of do a bow as he takes your hand.
Quite polite.
I
Now then,
was
Jax.
given nobility training. Because as you can see, I'm a man of very few words.
I can indeed see that, yes. But you're doing well. Don't worry about it.
An appreciative grunt.
Ida smiles, and there's like a little vein on her temple, kind of like this fucking grunting is pissing me off.
It annoys you because you're getting used to it. And Bowen actually smiles at this. For like he's like has never smiled, but he smiles at this because he understands it is something that is slowly growing. You're like, wait, no, I understand what he's saying fully.
I'm good at reading people. The communication aspect is not a problem. It is just the manner of it. Anyway, cultural difference. Jax, we're going. Do not.
Sorry.
All right.
The
Before
teleportation finishes.
Yeah. Before you guys continue, I have to dip for 5 minutes now.
Okay, I will put my
So-
dinner on the air fryer.
Yes, it'll be no more than 10. Promise. but
You guys have
apologies.
air fryers in the favela?
Tell your sister I said hi.
Shall do.
I'll also say hi.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, Haley said she says hi too.
Okay. Great. All right, will do.
I have.
Then says hi. It's a couple's greeting.
I've said hi. I've met Ghost Sister.
I think I've yelled at Nix's sister, but was not heard on mic.
Anyway, we're gonna put the food there.
Yeah.
Eee. I took
Hmm.
some Dayquil. I'm starting to feel a little better.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jax was like trying to get in on it because he thought it was cool, but then got yelled at.
Well, Odin did go when he did. So he's gonna be like, practice your grunts in your own time.
Yeah.
I love the idea that he brings this back to Ice Boulder. He just starts grunting, and then slowly but surely, I think Clue would definitely do it, just like to be like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to communicate in their natural tongue, you know?
our most base of communication.
I
Do you have like cold, flu, or
don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I just feel like beat up, post nasal drip.
sorry?
My throat's like scratchy, but it's like what normally happens. I feel like it starts in my nose and then it like works its way to my chest, and it'll be gone in a couple days, hopefully. I move on Saturday, so I like really don't want to
Ugh.
be super sick right now.
Well,
I'm literally packing as things are happening.
hopefully it doesn't get worse from here.
Yeah. Hey,
In
my
my head,
girlfriend
though,
was
as soon
like,
as you said it starts in my nose, I immediately in my head went, and it moves to my toes. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
yeah, Haley was like, if you feel sick tomorrow, are you gonna call out of work? And I was like, no, that's how sick I feel.
Wait, you said no? You're
Depends how
not gonna
sick.
call out?
Depends how sick I feel.
Uh, you probably should just call out, man.
I like been calling out kind of a lot. I've been not feeling great too much.
Uh,
So
I feel that I'm stuck on like I cannot call out right now
yeah,
because I'm stuck on like all my points. Like if I get one more, even like a call in, it's just like it's over for me. So I'm like fuck. I'm not sure
yeah.
when those points come off.
My DO isn't after we hold on. My mic is like not sensitive. I feel.
Yeah, it was kind of I was catching it a little bit, but it was getting a little bit
Uh,
rough.
this is probably gonna be better.
There you go. That's good.
I move on Saturday, and then like a week and a half after that, we actually go on vacation.
say
Japanese
something
Kit
highly.
Kat.
I was gonna say something highly inappropriate to tell your sister.
Well,
No, that's okay. I was gonna tell you to tell her. I was just like, tell your sister she can get it, and I was just like, I'm not that type of person.
I think, yeah, I think there is an implication. Like there is always the impulse of saying something inappropriate about someone's like mother or sister when they are mentioned in a call. I think it's just like the primal like reptilian teenager brain
It is.
like crawling out of the woodwork.
It's like the same as like when someone says duty. I'm just like, I have the slightest of chuckles in my brain.
Yeah.
He said it. Yeah, just
wait,
a
these
little.
Japanese Kit Kats are fire. What the fuck? America, explain. What the hell? What is good?
What
They
makes them
don't-
Japanese? Are they just from Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there is something about Japanese snacks. They just get it right every time.
I was gonna say
Dead
Asian
ass.
snacks in general because they're really snacky people.
Yeah, like they just have the best snacks all the time. They got it down to like a science.
They
No,
definitely have
legit.
the best
This is good.
like the drinks from the from their what is it called when you go vending machines?
Yeah.
The drinks from their vending machines are on a different level. I don't understand why.
I saw
Oh,
a
my
video
food
of
is
a vending
ready on the
machine.
air fryer. I'm gonna get it.
I saw a video of a vending machine in Japan where you would like get a random drink from it. Like you would pick the drink and it would give you a random drink. It wouldn't be the one that you picked.
That'd be me every single day.
Honestly, the gamble is great.
Pretty cool.
With
I mean, last time I went gambling,
drinks,
I won.
I want to go gambling, but only. I've never gambled IRL, but I want to gamble in
Oh.
Vegas if I do it. Huge. Epic. Yeah, that's a good instinct. I was reading something on Twitter the other day from an ex-dealer at a casino, and he said it is unlikely that you'll ever beat the house, but if you do, if you get something first try and they invite you to keep playing, say fuck no, take the money, leave, and never come back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
My friend once got kicked out for counting cards. Well, and he was allowed to take his leavings, but he could not go back to that casino again.
Fair.
Yeah, and when they say can't, they mean like you can't come again this year. You win again next year. That's what they really mean.
All right, we are back, and it is time to let ID speak to Jax. Now, ID first. Did you want to return to Thruffle's like little domain area, or did you want to talk to Jax before you got there?
Did I miss something?
We're teleporting first. We're teleporting
Okay.
first.
So to Thruffle's domain.
Yes, directly to the teleportation circle.
Okay. In that case, gonna just take Woden off the map, but everybody should have vision. Let me know if not, but I think I did it the right way.
This thing is so funky.
Well, maybe that means something, who knows? As both of you return to Thruffle Grimstone's domain so quickly, after having left, perhaps it's been at most an hour, really. The old man turns to look at both of you, and then turns his head to look at you, ID, and once again, you see this very different individual claiming to be someone else. But Thruffle speaks and says, "Oh, you got back so quickly? Did the conversation go well? Apology? Holiday? Eh?"
Well, the king needed a little bit of time to process, but he has agreed to concede half of your demands. He is ready to issue an apology, a public one, but unfortunately he was quite adamant about the holiday part.
You mean adamant about wanting to include it, yeah?
No, he was quite adamant about not including it. There are certain concerns about, work ethics also, but I believe it is simply too big of a step for him to take with regards to this. But the public apology from a man as prideful as he is quite the price, don't you think?
Or now? That should be alright for the time being. I'm certain I'll be able to convince him once I've defended the entirety of Krishnak by myself.
Precisely. Once he has seen the value that you are providing to us, perhaps he will be willing to reconsider.
Oh, value I provide. At a price, of course, but regardless, you did what needed to be done. I'm
Yes.
willing to return anytime.
Well, before you do, I was wondering if maybe we could speak business of other sorts. Now that the official duties that I have come here to fulfill are actually concluded in, frankly, a manner that I am even that surpassed my expectations even.
I did notice my gosh, what's the word? I lost the word. I just had it. I did notice that no, the da lack of the dwarf. The
Distinctive.
There you go. Yeah. I did notice the distinctive lack of the dwarf. Is that why?
Yes, I didn't think it would behoove you to have him suspect or witness certain things. And speaking of which, in the name of good faith, I would appreciate it if you could reveal your actual form to my companion here. He will not speak a word of it to the dwarves, of course.
Thruffle is looking directly at Jax. What kind of facial expression are you giving?
Jax has absolutely no idea what's going on.
Just turn to him like, Jax, this gentleman is not as it seems, but as I said, I have decided to bring you here in place of simply shaking you off as well with an excuse, because you are a member of our group.
It's like as if the paint's drying. He's just like staring at it.
Where am I looking?
I know, right? I'm like, what?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
But but you must understand, there are reasons, probably, by which the dwarves must not know about us, and so it's a secret that we both must keep. Yes?
You say that to Jax?
Yes.
I literally have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
I know, I'm just telling you, like, Bro, just don't talk about this to anyone else. Period.
What? What am I not talking about?
You're about to see it.
Oh, okay. It hasn't happened yet. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Goodbye. Okay.
Well, there you have it.
You do understand. If he does speak, he's not leaving.
I do, but there is his own responsibility to bear.
Uh,
Thruffle's voice changes in that moment. Jax,
your voice
very
crack.
well.
Oh.
In that case, let me show you the truth of what lies here. And he bursts into flames right
Oh my
before
God.
your very eyes, Jax and Idy, and instead, taking his place is a much taller, lankier individual with leathery skin draped across very visible bones. He is currently simply wearing this blood red tunic of sorts that covers parts of his upper body, um, loose pants of the same color and material, and sitting atop two mischievous eyes are two horns on a bald head. And he speaks once again. What kind of business do you have with me?
What the heck just happened? Like, what'd you do with Thruffle? What
Oh,
happened to Thruffle?
don't you worry about him. He's fine.
Wait, there's like there actually is a Thruffle somewhere else. It's not just you.
Gonna break the poor thing.
Of course, there's a thruffle.
Whoa. Like here?
Who knows? Would you like to make a deal for me
No,
to give you the
no,
answer to
no,
that?
no, 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 no.
I suspected as much.
All right, whatever. You go ahead, Irie.
Well, let's have a grown up talk then. And he'll begin slowly marching over to you. What is it you desire?
Well, I have several things I would be interested in, but obviously, whether or not we're going to reach an agreement depends on the prices you're willing to give me for them.
I assume you are well informed about how these kinds of deals usually are handled, are you?
I am, yes. I possess many things that I can also offer as alternative prices. Whether or not you're going to be interested in them, well, it's beyond me, but
We shall see. Speak plainly. What is it you desire on this fine day?
well, for starters, I have been working on a little bit of a trick. After seeing a more powerful mage than I do something grander, Heidi is going to quickly like do the gestures with her hands and cast her little like prototype domain over the area for a moment before
Mhm. He
dropping it.
takes a couple careful steps back as you do so.
Don't worry, it is quite harmless for now.
Hmm. A prototype domain, huh?
Indeed. I am looking to refine it, since in the last encounter I had, it seems like it did not perform as well as I had been expecting it to, or at least it was quite risky, and ultimately didn't fulfill its intended purpose of not letting my prey get away. If you
Interesting.
if you would have any kind of knowledge that could expedite the process so that I can master this technique in the coming days or weeks, that would be something I am interested in.
There are a few questions on my mind with regards to that. What exactly do you wish your domain to accomplish? Ward off foes? Entrap them? Simply damage them beyond recognition? Steal their souls? Render them useless? Protect yourself? What is on your mind? Tell me what your heart desires.
Well, those are all very appealing prospects, but my current plan for it is not as much as on a designer level. Currently, I'm working on simply establishing the concept for the domain itself. That is, an area that is created by my magic and that exerts my own influence over it, which means things cannot freely enter or leave it unless I allow them to. A closed off space, so to speak. Which also means that my magic has reach over all of this space. But that is generic, right? That is just an area itself. It doesn't speak to anyone's personality. So after that is finished, I intend on applying my own touch to it. I don't think I am fully in control of what that touch is. It just speaks to who I am as a person. If I were to hazard a guess, because I am doing a little bit of meditating, trying to ascertain what my inner self is like, what the inner corners of my soul are like, and that is something very personal. But knowing me, it's not going to be something so outright destructive or not meant to protect others. Those are not aligned with who I truly am.
A domain that will lay your soul bare for everyone to see and feel.
Well, knowing myself,
Truly heartbreaking.
indeed.
Well, essentially what you're asking for is some sort of personalized pocket dimension that resides on the same dimension where you are.
Essentially, yes, a closed off space. If I can accomplish that, then I can probably work on imbuing my own self into it over time. It should
Begins,
be easier.
continue. Just begins walking around the teleportation circle a little bit, kind of thinking, but always keeping an eye on you, too. That should certainly be possible. For one such as myself, I possess knowledge that spans across hundreds of years. And I am somewhat of a teacher, a tutor, some might say. For better or worse, of course. Now, as for my price in that regard, since I will be sharing my knowledge with you in expanding your area of control, I merely wish to be included in such an act. Which is to say, I share the way to do that with you, and you share with me some of your blood. It will
Jax looks at
simply.
Irie. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good. It will simply strengthen our connection, and if you find yourself in a pickle within that domain, Zaskath will be there for you.
Oh, so your name's not really Thruffle.
The real Thraffle is probably locked, sleeping somewhere.
Sleeping, yes.
An euphemism.
But no, young kobold. My name is Zaskath. And if you have any wishes as well, don't hesitate to share them with me.
Nope, I'm
There are
good.
things I can make possible for someone such as yourself.
Nope.
Ah, the hesitancy before they do break down. Delicious. Well, my lady, what say you?
I would like to know what you intend to do with my blood.
Oh, simply establish a permanent bond between both you and I.
And what does that bond entail?
I will be there always.
What do you mean, always? Will you be watching me?
Not all the time. There are many dealings I have made, and many to keep an eye on. But perhaps every so often, if I feel a particular tug from your direction, I might partake in newfound knowledge on your behalf, or simply offer you additional help if the moment were to come where you were in need of such assistance.
Hmm. What else do you get out of this?
As of now, much. But who knows what the future holds in store for our relationship?
No, but that is what I'm saying. It feels like out of this deal, I am getting much more than you are, and I don't trust that kind of deal.
What can I say? I like to give.
I'm sure you do. Question. I have my inscrutable feature, which doesn't allow anyone to spy on me magically.
Mhm.
Would I be aware if he could bypass that if I like sort of voluntarily gave him the means to do it?
Give me an Arcana check.
Like, or could I potentially just like give him like the blood and then still be able to like block him out whenever he tries to spy on me? without him. Ugh, fuck.
Mhm.
17.
I would say you have, at the very least, an inkling that if you were to share your blood voluntarily, that would bypass these limitations.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm not a big fan of being spied upon.
Spying is such an ugly word. Let's call it observing.
Well, I'm not a big fan of being observed when I don't wish to be.
The choice is yours.
Then let's go over the other things that I'm interested in.
Oh, there's more. Please.
Oh, I am a woman of many projects, many fires in the oven.
Iris heart.
Now, you can use your runes to modify magical objects, right?
I assume you saw my beautiful work of art just outside of this small domain.
I did. I
Yes,
mean,
I can.
it is a little. It is becoming a little misty whether things in the city were your work or the original Grimstones, but still. I have this object, and she points like back at the lotus pad that is flying.
Mhm. Before you go too far, when you suggest that this might be the original Grimstone's work, there's an immediate look of annoyance on his face, and he says, "Huh, as if that old fool could ever achieve my levels of greatness. But do go on."
Well, I have this contraption that I
Hmm.
pilfered and customized from another mage. But it is my vehicle, and I use it to get around, but it requires a permanent bond to me in order to work. And aside from mobility, it doesn't offer me much else. So I was wondering if you could either permanently bond it to me and make it, well, not bond it, but permanently sort of make it an independent item that is linked to me for my lifetime without requiring a direct bond to my soul, or maybe modify this lotus pad to offer some other benefits, perhaps perhaps a layer of defense or other such benefits, so it's at least a little bit more worth my while of being bonded to it at all times.
Hmm. Either of those might be possible if you were to agree to my price. To bind it to yourself unconditionally, well, the bond must be anchored somewhere, if not within your soul, which is your life force. Then where else? Perhaps your brain? The
Interesting.
other question of yours is much simpler, and quite frankly, almost not worth my effort, but if you do wish to improve, perhaps, its defensive capabilities. We could do so by exchanging some of your own life force in turn for more life within this largely inanimate object.
Must it always be this sort of thing? Could I not pay you with another magical item, perhaps? And you just perform the improvements for me?
I could send you out on a quest for gathering magical items and objects for me, of course. You have the time.
Hmm.
I'll keep it simple and you decide. The only item that I am at the moment interested in is a Luna Jade. I have few servants out in the ruins gathering as much as possible for me, but I don't possess enough quite yet.
Hmm. Noted. Well, so that is the price for that. Next up, I
He's
am
beginning to
also
rub his hands at the realization that there's so many possible avenues here.
I have another project of finding a way to create a vessel that could house a soul for one that has lost their original body.
No, it's thruffle.
A vessel. Anything in particular in mind?
Well, something that is close to an actual body. Not just an object like an urn or a blade or something like that. I mean something that can actually work, uh, bring the person back to life of sorts using a new body.
Is this individual dead?
As far as I know, they never properly died.
Never properly died.
No,
So they must be contained within something else. And you wish to move them elsewhere?
correct.
Such a thing is simple. I could produce a body for you.
I would be more interested in learning how to make one than in acquiring one already done.
In that case, what I could offer is a scroll with the exact instructions on how to complete this process. My only demand is that you follow it exactly as written. You wouldn't want any mishaps.
If I read the scroll and decide not to carry on with it, what happens?
In that case, our deal will be deemed incomplete. You simply have to complete what you had set out to do.
Do not
Otherwise,
patronize me. I will worry about what I want to worry.
I cannot say much more. The contract would specify.
See, that is enough. The thing is, if I can't know what is in the scroll before acquiring it, I will not agree to these terms unless I can simply back away from it if I decide not to go through with the ceremony instead.
I'm not willing to share my knowledge without knowing that my payment will be fulfilled as I demand.
Can you just take the memories away if you don't want them? Oh, sorry, I'm not here. I meant.
Yeah.
Well, I'll read through your conditions later, if it's to be the case. The next item is something a little bit more simple, and not too far from things we had already discussed. I would also like 3 vials of blood and a tissue sample about the size of a palm, more or less, from a devil. It doesn't have to be you, but it has to be one of you.
Hmm. Two options. What is that age old saying? An eye for an eye? If you wish to possess mine, I will have the same in return from you. If you prefer to hunt another devil and claim their blood and tissue, I will offer to you a way to reach them and subdue them. You then will bring me their heart.
That is more acceptable. But again, what if I decide not to go through with it?
His eyes darken a little bit. I would have hoped you were more familiar with our kinds of dealings. But in any case, any deal you make here that you then do not complete in a satisfactory manner, your soul will no longer be yours.
Final item.
He
Do you know
looks
how?
at Jax as you say that, and hang on, sorry, wrong tab. He looks at Jax as you bring up the final one, and he will say, "So, have you changed your mind
Nope.
in any kind of respect?"
Nope. Nope. Nope.
He wants to make a persuasion check here. And because he has been speaking with both of you for a while now, you have disadvantage against his persuasion.
This is why we don't talk to ninjas for too long.
What do I roll insight?
You can make me a charisma check of your choice. I'm gonna leave that to you. He is
Okay.
going to make a persuasion check.
Anything that uses my charisma, huh?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
With a
Disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Wow.
Well, you can choose to still say no for the time being, but Jax, deep within you, there is a little bit of interest beginning to grow. Seems as though this Zaskath is quite a powerful individual, perhaps a powerful ally or friend, even.
His eyes narrow as he looks at Zaskath, as he says nothing.
Zaskath simply smiles. He knows what's happening. And he turns back to Ivy. Apologies for interrupting. What is your final wish?
Do you know of a way to combine different magical items into a single one?
Of course. Child's play.
If it's child's play, the price shouldn't be very high.
I should have said child's play for me.
Indeed.
Is
Wait, so
that it?
are you like a god or something?
Not yet, but soon enough.
Like, what's one of the craziest things you can do?
Oh, here we go again.
One of the craziest things I can do. How about kill a god?
Jax, do not the devil.
Like, he like looks at Irie and like looks back at Zaskath. Looks back at Irie, looks back at Zaskath. So like you're talking like you could just outright just end it like right now.
Not right now, but soon enough I will be capable of such a feat. Don't you think that is quite grand?
Looks at Irie. Almost like looking for guidance in this moment.
Irie just looks at him and telepathically says in his head, his powers may be large, but they're not that large yet, and whatever he asks in exchange is going to be something you were not aware of the consequences right now. If you want to kill a god, one of those tainted ones, I can help you with that maybe. More than he can. Or at least for far better prices.
Oh, okay. So
He says this out loud. Like, can you like locate someone?
If you tell me who that is, most likely.
Uh, what's the
Don't
cost?
tell me there's a god you wish to kill.
No, not going that way. I'm just seeing if I can get a line on someone, like where they're at. Not a god, normal person.
Hmm. If there is someone you wish to locate, the price is not steep. Simply ingest some of my blood.
Uh,
No.
yeah, it sounds kind of gross, to be honest.
It's the least of your concerns.
I
I
would
can't like.
be able to put an end to all your worries about that person's safety. I would be able to calm your mind and allow you to move along in your duties carefree. I would provide you with the opportunity to reach even greater heights, greater than you now know you are capable of, simply because you are holding yourself back out of worry and anxiety. I can provide opportunity to you. What say you? How much do you truly care about this person's well being?
Looks at Irie. Looks back at Zathgath. Looks back at Irie.
Do
So,
not.
uh,
Let's do the following. Heidi, make a contested uh, persuasion check here. You against Zaskath.
Okay, I'm still wearing the mask.
Yeah,
I was
you
doing
have
it for
advantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have disadvantage from his weaken resolve feature, advantage from the other, so it's flat. Oof.
20.
Jax, you know
I
which way to
have
look.
guidance. I know guidance now. Damn.
Yep, I would, in a less important situation, just let you roll, but this is just beautiful. Jax, you know the dice have spoken. You know which way your heart is tugging.
Why can't I guess guidance?
Because we already rolled.
But
It's not a reaction. This has to be announced before you do.
wait,
In a less. I
it's
don't
not.
think. Guidance? It's just an action spell.
They had changed it in one version of the.
Let me see.
No, it's still an action.
Yeah, it's an action still. Yeah.
Can I do
If it
one
was.
last thing?
Yeah, I just want to say one. Like, if it was less important or less, like, potentially campaign affecting, I would let you roll. But you didn't call it before.
Can I
So,
just roll insight to see like if Jax gets a sense that this is
yeah, you can do so at disadvantage.
it's not gonna be great. Yeah. Pretty mid. I think Jax would take a step forward toward him, but then stop. Look back at Irie and just say to Zaskath, because Jax is loyal, if not, cautious in this way, I guess. where he really doesn't want to disregard Irie's remarks, but he's being pulled by his heart in this moment. And he says to Zaskath, that does it really have to be your blood?
It is the only way.
Jax, listen to me. I guess suggestion.
Oh, okay.
You cast counterspell.
So do I have to be like, do I have to roll even if I'm like kind of willing? Or like, how does that work?
That is how the spell works. I think you have
yeah.
to roll.
Let me just look it up. He, yeah. Oh god, it's not called suggesting. Suggestion. Da, 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 da.
Because there are spells that specify you can choose to fail, like Vortex Warp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they would
Um,
usually just let people fail if they want, but this is a different case. This is like a
Yeah.
special case.
Yeah, and I would say in this case, because Zaskath is actively wanting you to listen to him, you'll have to make a save against ID.
Okay. What do I roll?
Wisdom save. You can be charmed, right? I don't remember what Paladin can do.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
I have
Subtle
a
spell,
lot.
silver barbs.
Oh my god. Okay.
Let me just make sure with the charm thing first. I think it's frightened. I don't.
Yeah,
Right, I
you only
believe so.
get immune to charm if you're devotion paladin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it. Immunity to frightened is what I have.
The
Okay.
normal is just frightened. Yeah.
All right. Silvery barbs.
Yes.
I did.
Let's
go.
Yes.
That was really close. It's almost a 17 again.
Jax, as he is beginning to take another step, he stops. And he looks at Zaskath, looks back at Irie, turns and walks back.
Good boy.
Zaskath is looking directly at you, ID, at this point. You are cheating.
Oh, and you aren't.
You came to my house. In my house, we play by my rules.
I just want to
You
go
do.
home.
You do know that my kind descend from yours, yes? You can hardly accuse me of anything.
Our little siblings.
Let me see if I have this right. For the domain expansion, you would need my blood. And that is... I assume your prices are not negotiable.
No longer. You've upset me.
Good. As for the modifications on the Lotus pad, you would want me to get the Lunajade for you.
Precisely.
For the artificial body, I would have to carry out the instructions of the scroll to the letter, and I am not allowed to know what they are until I agree to carrying that task out.
Correct.
For the vial of blood, you would require either my blood in return, or that I agree to go out and hunt another devil for you and bring their heart. And again, I am not allowed to know what devil that is or what killing them would entail until I agree to it.
You have a stupendous memory.
And lastly, you never got around to telling me what is the price for fusing magical items.
Ah, I
You were too
got.
busy trying to persuade my companion here.
And successful I was until you intervened. Don't
course.
think I won't remember this. The price for fusing two items with one another is simply that you inscribe a certain rune that I will share with you onto them. That will complete the process without any issues.
Very well. As for the Illuminate, Heidi reaches into one of her sleeves and produces the dagger made of Illuminate that is in her possession that the assassin attacked her with. I do not know how concentrated this is, but is it sufficient, or do you require more?
That looks promising. With that amount, I'm willing to make one adjustment. If you find more, there could be many more benefits to
Can
your
I
flying vehicle.
can I give you a Lunajade to locate people?
Give me a persuasion check. You're still at disadvantage.
With a persuasion check?
They're charisma checks, yeah. 9.
Mhm.
If you find 3 pieces, certainly that could be sufficient in this case.
I can just like call you up.
If you find the 3 pieces, I will provide you. Sorry, no, not if you find. If you're willing to complete or engage in this deal with me, I will provide you with a way in which you can communicate with me once you have found the 3 pieces.
Jax looks at Irie.
We're leaving. You are, of course, coming with us because you need to watch the king give you your apology, yes?
I will most certainly be coming along. Oh, how excited I am to finally enter Krishnak. How wonderful.
Hmm. You. The king never signed anything. It was only like a verbal agreement between me and him.
Correct.
I'm gonna use subtle spell to begin casting teleportation circle again.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be talking to him, like narrow my eyes, like, what do you mean? I was under the impression you could go there whenever you wanted to.
Naturally. But some preparations had to be made. An opportunity had to arise. And then it came right to me.
Why did you need an opportunity?
You should understand better than anyone else.
How long have you switched places with the original truffle?
Ah, that answer comes at a price. But worry not. It won't be much, it won't be important for much longer. Well, are we off then? Krishnak awaits.
Unfortunately, there is something else we must confirm first. We'll be getting back to you in a business day. I'm gonna teleport out with Jax.
What are you? And you're gone.
Yep. We get back to the sort of like downtown Krishnak.
I'm gonna just load you into that map instead because it's easier to load.
What? But what was that about?
I don't know what your opinion of me is, but I am not about to gun down an entire city of people just because the business was better for me.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm like, my opinion of you is you're pretty great, and I don't know. He was really convincing, and like, the whole reason why I'm here. It seems like he could maybe help, but you also said you could help. It was messing with my head.
Yes, it was getting to your head. We have a way of doing that.
We.
I told him as much.
Yeah, but
My
like,
kind descends from his kind. Obviously, I can't do the same things that he can, but we have some traces.
well, listen, I thought that was just like, figure of speech kind of thing, but oh, okay.
No, it's quite literal on a biological sense. But still. We're going back to the throne room. And I am informing the king of exactly what all of that was.
Yeah, not good, right? That was bad.
It was fine until he seemed so eager to finally step into Krishnak.
Yeah, like why if he like wanted to do that so bad, why didn't he just do it?
I was under the impression that he had switched places with that truffle prior to being exiled to that cave, but now I think maybe he'd switched places after truffle when in exile.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. I feel like the
Regard.
Luna Jade deal wasn't that bad though.
It wasn't, but I upset him. I upset him when I made you back out of that obviously dangerous deal you were doing, and certainly I didn't really feel like giving him more things that he needs for whatever purpose that he wants to. The less powerful that thing is, the better.
Yeah, I feel that.
Anyway, let's get back to the king and report things slightly not as they transpired.
You do the talking.
I sure will.
So
Okay.
when the illusion dropped, I hit her in the face with my whip.
The what?
When the illusion dropped, I hit her in the face with my whip.
Oh, you're okay. You're talking to someone else. Yep.
No, he's telling his report. He never actually got the chance to do that because we had the fight. He went to sleep, then he woke up, had to escort you, and now he's come back. That's been his last 2 days.
Well then, we're back.
What are you doing back?
Cave's haunted.
Ah. Worried grunt.
We must talk to the king. I will deliver my report to him and you can listen in at the same time.
I shall.
you still lose the material, but I think the idea is that they don't know you're casting it.
Like that's
No, without any verbal, somatic, or material components,
Oh, it's all of it.
except material components that are
the
consumed by the
cost, yeah,
spell.
which are the inks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's I guess my fault for not being specific enough in that case, but that's fine.
Invisible
I'll
circle.
keep it in mind for the future. Yeah, invisible circle.
It says
I
you
mean,
can
you could-
cast teleportation circles subtly without all this. So you need to have material components. Yeah, I mean, it says you can do it. So
I don't know.
Yeah, doing it you can. It's simply technically he might have seen something happening anyway, but
It's more of the lines of like, how do you
It-
explain what
yeah,
happened verbally?
yeah.
It's like I don't fucking know.
yeah, it could also just
happened,
be
though.
that he saw you casting the spell and his assumption was you're all going together and then you triggered it on him.
I'll put it this
So-
way, right? How does a rogue actually evade an explosion in a room? A full explosion with evasion.
Yeah, just
Right?
sometimes
Like-
this doesn't be making sense.
Yeah, like,
Skinny
I can't-
legend. Exactly, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, it's like I can't explain that to you, but that it shit happens. Yeah, real rogues don't perceive explosions. They don't even it's not about looking. They can see one and be like, that's not an explosion, and then dodge it.
Yeah. Explosions are just in your mind.
They're like Ubel from Fearin. It's like, I don't see that as an explosion. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, it's not.
basically, what this forum is reading as is like you still do have to draw it, and he could have seen you be like doing something, but he might not have known what you were doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, I
He's doing
assume.
ballet.
No, I think the reasonable interpretation here might have been that he thought that was for all of you to take off together, and then Ida just sprung it on him and left without him.
Right, because the circle exists, and the activation of the circle is the verbal and somatic components, right?
I can try to retroactively make it make sense while also having the circle. I can try that. Maybe Irie was walking around as she, or with her feet, were subtly just making a circle.
With her
Yeah, and
I
I
toes.
like it was
And it was not visual. It was just within just in the shape of the runes of the teleportation that she needed.
Yeah, the
With
way
her
I imagine
toes.
is like the smoke that is always kind of lingering right around ID, like kind of like drifting towards the floor and very like low key, like inscribing patterns onto the floor, you know.
Yeah, I think because of what he is, I'd rather interpret it in a
he was intending to go with you. That makes
yeah,
the
like
most
he
sense to me, too.
misinterpreted the social cue here or the actual intentions of what
Intent.
ID wanted to
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
That makes the most sense to me too.
yeah, because
We're
I
cool
think
like that.
yeah, because I think a creature like himself, if he saw any magic being cast that he didn't understand,
Right.
would have reacted differently. But if he just assumed that this was for all of you, then wouldn't have acted really.
Yeah, that
But
makes
regardless, you are back in Krishnak. Now you've reunited with Woden, who was telling stories to some folk around here. Do you want to go to the throne room immediately?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
Walk.
call ahead for them.
Okay. In that case, quick walking montage. Doors are opened once again. Your friends Durivoli and Doracoid are there once again to open the doors for you, and you all step inside once again, the three of you, and the king is expecting you this time and says, "You're back very quickly this time. Where is he? Did you not come along this time?"
I have an important discovery to report.
Raises an eyebrow. Do tell.
The man named Treful Grimstone, at some point, at some unspecified point in time, has been replaced by an imposter.
The second Irie says that, Jax goes, "It was crazy."
We'll
What
make an
do
insight
you?
check
Yeah,
on Jax to know
how crazy it
if
was.
no to know if that was indeed a discovery just made. And he's looking at Jax in particular because he knows he's easier to read.
To be fair, Jax just made that
Yeah,
discovery.
still
That's
works for me.
I'm just gonna roll persuasion because it. I mean, I'm not being facetious, but just so.
I mean, you don't have to. If it's genuine, he is just like, whoa.
He is being genuine. I guess he's trying to persuade you basically that it was nuts, and like the look on Jax's face is like he did not see this coming.
You know what? I'm gonna take these rolls as the funniest version. Woon doesn't believe you thought it was that crazy, and he goes, hmm.
And the king responds to both of you then. What do you mean an imposter?
Well, it would seem that your fellow, I don't know if what you would call him a friend, I don't know what happened to him, but in his place was a creature of a more devilish nature.
Yeah, they had leathery skin. It was kind of gross. They were trying to get me to drink blood. They were trying to get her blood. It was just a lot.
Jax is like bursting at the seams to say this.
Telepathically, I tell Jack to shut up now.
He's like basically like, you know how like you have a secret but you want to tell somebody so bad.
Yeah.
That's the energy Jax is like giving off as he's giving this information that he's just said. He's not like he doesn't really understand too much, so he can't really go in more depth.
Yes, well, we outed him due to my special magical senses. And he tried to offer us a few bargains. Obviously, we didn't take any of them, but it seemed or felt to me like he was looking for some kind of excuse or opportunity to head into the city.
Ruffle was taken by a devilish creature.
Apparently, yes.
These are terrible news.
Yes, well, as soon as we realized what was going on, we teleported back here without him, obviously, and therefore, I am afraid the whole strategy of having him reinforce the ruins of the city is not viable.
Well, fuck. We can't leave Krishnak if there's a devil nearby. If there's a devil nearby that has the ruffle. Where is this devil? We can go and cut him down right now.
Well, Woden
Make
knows
him
the way.
free, Thruffle.
However, I believe we only reached his abode through a portal, and I do believe the portal would require his consent to be used, unless we were able to hijack it somehow. Which, granted, I may be able to sort of try to finagle. If you give me a large enough detachment, I can try to sort those things out. I have some measure of protection against being magically monitored as well, so if I went with them, perhaps he would not see us coming quite as easily. Be it as it may, I too would like to see this devil rid of, though I can't quite dedicate myself fully to it, for as we had already discussed, I have other business to attend to all over the realm. But the fact of the matter is that in coming here to warn you all of the impending danger, instead of going along with his schemes, I have quite probably made an enemy. And I would not like to remain an enemy of a devil for very long.
How soon do you suggest we would be able to travel to this creature's domain, as you call it?
Well, our best bet would be using his own portal, which is stationed a couple days travel away from here, and the place where Woden led us. I had the teleportation sigils to his place, but I have already forgotten it due to the agreement we had regarding the deal that was to be made between you and him. Thankfully though, since you did not sign on the deal, it would be of no consequence if you don't follow through on it. But regardless, if we are to deal with him, I would advise doing so post haste. But don't mobilize the entire city either. Have people by your side, people with magical inclinations that can perceive the true nature of things.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm wearing the mask.
Mm-hmm. Bro, these Kit Kats are fire. Oh my god.
How do I give it? Oh, wait, here. Damn. 7 and 8.
Going to have guidance.
I keep forgetting to cast that shit. I'm not used to it yet. Like, no, I mean it's kind. I mean, guidance is a spell with only a verbal component, and it's a prayer, so it's kind of like, you know, in Ida's
I hope to
case, it would
God
be
this
like,
works.
yeah, Lady of the Moon, please let this buffoon hear me.
Either that, or you're just saying that as a prayer. Whatever you said is the prayer, and your god has to hear you say random shit into the very far recesses of their mind of just like, I guess someone's using my power for something.
In this case, it's like, dude, how many people is this woman gonna try to convince?
There she goes again.
The check was not a difficult one. You have established a certain kind of trust with him over the course of these few days. Woden can decide whether he sort of vouches for you or not, but at the very least he has not shared any negative opinions about you. And so the king ponders this for just a second before he responds and says, "We will send some out tomorrow morning. Are you able to give us a hand one last time? Or must you depart?"
With the detachment, I think I should be fine to lay the groundwork for us to set a trail that is easy to go down. They can return to their business, as it were.
How many do you need?
I'll think of a number later. I can't, I don't know how strong these troops are, like IRL. So
I would place them probably somewhere at a. I know this is like a very vague guideline, but probably somewhere between 5 and 7 CR.
7 CR.
That's really strong.
Yeah, like these dwarves are no pushovers.
Yep, like 7 CR is enough to solo like a level like 9 adventurer or 8.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 is pushing it. I'd say 5 to 6. You're right, 7 is pushing it.
CRs are pretty, I was gonna say 7s are pretty strong. I can think of some
Yeah,
pretty
it's because
strong
like
monsters.
CR is basically like a CR7 thing is as strong as like 4 level 7 characters.
Yeah, I remembered the moment I started looking at them and I was like, oh, that's perhaps a little much. But 5 to 6, I think, is
Okay,
fair.
up to-
These, yeah, there's certainly no pushovers, these dwarves.
I think he'd say 5 or 6.
I'll add on to that. You know them, I mean, you're one of them. You know that these dwarves are not necessarily magically inclined, but they have other tools at their disposal, uh, such as very heavy weaponry, powerful armors, strong weapons, etc., etc.
I
And
think
they
I'll just
are
go with the typical party size then. If I'll need 3 of them to make 4 total.
I would
Yeah.
advise more.
Yeah, Jax looks at Irie and goes, "Do you think we should stick around?"
I will.
To preface, this isn't to deal with the devil. It's just to get a sort of a easy to get to like path, like to set the groundwork to this portal, right?
But as soon as we get to the portal, we're going there.
Oh,
to
so
deal
as
with
soon
him.
as we're going, we're going.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I can go along first because I have the inscrutable feature, which will let us kind of like sneak up on him. Like maybe he can assume that we're going there, maybe, but well, I don't know if he would assume that. Like I don't know if he would be like, oh, do the dwarves have the balls? But at least he wouldn't be able to like scry on us as long as I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And since I'm like an arcanist, and I assume that the portal is not going to just work if he seals it. Once we get there, I can try to sort of like engineer the portal so that it forces open and we can get to his home. Especially since I know his true name too.
And as many as we
That
need
is
to have,
true.
like, so I think as many as we need to have as sort of like touch on every sort of ground. Like obviously, like I'm not gonna use classes, but like obviously Jax is a paladin, Ari is a wizard, I am a ranger. Maybe like just like fighter, barbarian, cleric, sort of fill out the rest of this roster of like things to need in order to fight a strong combatant such as this. So
You know, some people at range, some people at healing, some people at frontline.
Yeah.
Probably one of each.
yeah, I try to get the full range of it. So, or barbarian, bard, cleric, definitely a cleric for sure. Monk.
A
Whatever I can
baker's
sort of,
dozen.
Let's get
yeah,
him.
whatever I can sort of like touch on each thing. Whatever we're not, I
Mhm.
want.
Okay.
The boys.
So
Now,
And
just to
girls.
clarify on my end as well, because
The boys or girls.
Woden had mentioned these two can leave. Do you two wish to stay for this
Yeah.
particular mission?
that's
You want
what I
the
was gonna mention to Jax. Like, if you wish to go back to them, I can teleport you back to Zviala just fine, and you can check up on the others. But I intend on remaining here. Because, like it or not, my actions today have probably made that devil upset, and I would very much like to make sure he's not going to be chasing me across the plains.
Can we make a deal?
Sorry, what?
Can we make a deal?
You mean you and I?
Yes.
Depends. What kind of deal?
I stay and help you, and you help me kill a god.
pretty twisted conversion rate.
Yeah. Heidi kind of like raises an eyebrow and goes like, "Did you learn nothing of my interaction with that devil? I do not make deals that I can't get out of later until I know. I mean, I don't know how strong the devil we're about to fight is, and I don't know how strong the tainted one you're suggesting we kill is either. But you can I will help you look into this matter, and if it is feasible to challenge him in some sort of way, you will have my support. Does that
Jack
suffice?
spits in his hand and holds it out.
Oh, does Woden see this?
You know,
Probably.
if I had a crown for every time this happened to me in the past week, I would have 2 crowns, which is not a lot, but it's very weird that happened twice.
Oh, maybe something in the air.
Still holding hand out.
Something on the hand, more like.
People just,
I just-
maybe people
I just
just
going
really
to-
like your spit.
I just going to like cover, do that thing where she covers her mouth with like the kimono sleeve so people can see what's going on like in there, and then she extends the hand towards Jax's. Yes.
And I would assume that Irie does like the handshake where she like holds her hand up, like with the palm down, like almost like very ladylike. And Jax is a little confused at first. He's like,
No, no, no. In this case, she would do like the normal, business handshake.
Jax shakes.
All right. Looks like we're staying.
Yes, we are staying.
I like this deal thing. This is fun.
That's so good.
It's really not that fun in the long term if you're not as smart as I am.
Listen, I think you're just jaded. But
Lulu's not jaded yet. She might be getting there though. You might be right though. You might be jaded, just a little bit.
Well, I call it inured to the.
So you're gonna
absurd
call it
side.
realistic, right? That's what you're going to call it.
Yes,
Being
that's what it
realistic.
boils down to.
Yes, yes. I
Should we get
understand.
the boys?
Or girls.
No, like the twins,
Oh, the twins.
Iron Tank and Warforged, whatever his name is.
Cave Mall.
Cave Mall. Yeah, you guys. Hey.
Hey!
Door 1 and door 2.
Metal Tank and Cave Mall.
Twiddle Tank and Twiddle Mall.
And Jax walks over and like gives them each a high five.
What's up, boys?
What's up, man? How's
Ready
it
to
going,
rock?
brother? Oh, we were born ready to rock.
You do not know what you are doing, do you?
Killing a devil or something? Yeah, killing a devil. That's what I heard.
Mhm.
Oh, I turn to the king.
Order in the court. No, I'm kidding.
If we succeed in this task, and I know how this sounds, but may I keep the devil's body for scientific study?
Nothing if not interesting.
Looks you deep in the eyes. When you kill him, take him away from here. Bring me Thruffle back. You keep the body. I don't want to see that shit ever in Krishnak.
Do I smell the gay?
Oh.
For
Is the way he's caring about the Straffle like a little homosexual? I just good at this.
I mean, and now I'm curious too. Give me an insight check.
can I make an insight check?
You can also make an insight check. We'll see.
I get
Honestly,
advantage. I know him. I know them.
Go for it.
Of course, my best role is just to tell if a fella has the gaze.
Honestly, both of you, there might be a little bit of homoerotic tension in the air. The king is not married.
I
Oh
think
my
I'm.
God.
He is old too. I think Swoon is explaining this and like stops in the middle and kind of just makes a look with Irie. Like, mhm.
And I really want this to be the thing that ends the session. Just looks at Woden and goes,
I got her. I got her. We found common ground.
While Jax
Yeah.
is like, that's happening while Jax is like broing out in the corner.
As soon as she saw a possibility to grunt homosexually, she was like, "Yep, I kind of, I think I found
get
my
it now."
place in
Yeah.
this culture."
Yeah.
Oh God, I understand.
You know, it's not just it's a vibe. It isn't just.
Well, let me just add that to the king's character sheet. Bro,
I'm
bro's
really sorry.
gay.
Like, I'm really sorry. Like, it's almost like more epic if he just cares about the guy because it's a dwarf citizen, and
Yeah.
not because he's interested in him. But as
Well,
soon as I heard it, I was like, "That's gay. That's
it's
gay
very
as hell."
it's very like Jace and Victor were
Victor,
like
yeah.
they didn't say anything gay, but like at a certain point,
It's like, why
you
do you
just kind
care
of
so much?
yeah, you
What's
guys you just
gay?
kind of
What's
look at each
gayer?
other.
Gay sex. Whatever Jason and Victor were
They were
doing in
doing.
this scene.
Yeah, whatever the hell they were doing in that scene.
It would make sense why there's a devil involved then.
Jesus.
Oh my God, Truffle was punished for being sodomized.
Truffle is Lil Nas X, and he was twerking on the devil.
This D&D brought to you by the Bible.
Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me out by your name. I'll be on the way. Like,
Man, that was not where I thought this session was gonna go.
Neither, but I'm glad it did. This is even better than what I had. Please continue.
No, that was the ending grunt.
Now that has been said, let me run it back a little bit. When you said you outed the devil, there was a little twitch from the king. I was like, oh shit. People are being outed here.
Jesus. He's being outed?
Who's being outed? Not me, right?
He went,
Anyway.
and everyone like,
Anyway, yeah, it was like,
Did we just kind of like gay colonize the dwarves?
I think so. It's happening. That's why they
Oh
all
my God.
oh,
that's why they
my
all have beards,
goodness.
including the women.
What?
I
What?
don't know, man.
You don't know if there's a
beards.
Yo, wait, can I add more lore? Hey, you
Yeah.
don't know if there's a population crisis right now with the dwarves?
Well,
Have you done if you maybe you do some research, you might see
This is like the
maybe
most like
maybe Mpreg
curveball.
exists here.
I can teach them to reproduce homosexually. It's fine. I'm sure
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have the technology.
They turn
I mean,
fucking
actually
frogs
wouldn't-
gay.
There are
can do that.
alphas and omegas here. Who knows,
I
man?
mean, if you have sex while you're under alter self,
Oh my god.
What about polymorph?
Polymorph.
I
That's
think you
the
would
one.
need I think you would need more of a ritual to keep the womb.
But of all the D&D races that exist,
The ones
dwarves
all the beards.
are probably the least gay and most masculine. Like there's elves, there's tieflings,
are you sure?
Changelings.
Are you sure?
changelings, there's literally a whole race based on trans people.
Excuse you, changelings
Dwarves.
are strictly pansexual.
Okay, but like,
Queens and
have
kings.
you seen like the village people? Like being super masculine is super gay too.
Yeah, it's like it's a big it's just a big cult. It's just a dick slapping left and right.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, we have derailed so far.
Wrestling's hella gay.
Yeah.
wrestling.
Wrestling is
pretty gay.
technically drag if you think about it.
It is. It's very performatic.
Wrestling is drag.
Wrestling is drag.
And RuPaul is the queen of all. Anyway, continuing. You both struck a quotation marks deal. Woden requested a group of perhaps 10 or so to come along. And the king has agreed to that for the time being. Not for the time being. The king has agreed. Although he will say, "Are you sure you don't need more than that to bring Thruffle back in one piece?"
One Piece.
The more quality, and we'll get it done. You know the ones I'm talking about. And this is me cueing you to think of them later.
I know the ones you're talking about.
Is
Yes,
it
even her.
that squadron?
Her too, are you sure?
Her and him, I know the history with us is spotty, but we can work together.
The legendary Hammer of Dawn.
So
They
long
call
as you
this the
don't
Thruple of Dawn, actually.
so long as you don't allow your own personal squabbles to get in the way of a successful mission here. I'm going to have Amber Sword and Hard Axe come along as well.
Understood.
Oh
Hella.
god.
And I thought I spoke in riddles.
I don't know if you guys heard I said after Irie
What
said
did you say?
Thruple Dawn.
I
No,
didn't
what
hear.
did Irie say? Something Dawn? What did you say?
I said, and I thought I spoke in riddles.
No, like
Or
you said something Dawn, like it was like a group name of
The
some sort.
Hammer of Dawn.
Hammer of Dawn. I said right after I was like, it's like Woon just went. Actually, it was the Thruple of Dawn.
the thruple until dawn.
No, Thruple of Dawn. We were all very much against it, and it
Okay.
stuck.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I'm going to cast Sending.
Mhm. Yeah, this
Um,
conversation is sending me.
If
can I cast
Irie's about
Sending
to send a message to Clue, like, oh, Akuta, because if you're
To
about
Akuta,
to,
yeah.
we're gonna go fight a devil, he's gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, the message is going to go like, negotiations going well with the dwarves. However, we will have to help them hunt a devil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You have 9 more words.
Love you lots.
Should
Drink
take
water.
few more days. How do you fare? Okay, that's exactly 25, I think. Negotiations going well with the dwarves. However, we will have to help him hunt the devil. Should take few more days. How do you fare?
Who
I
to
like how
send
he
it to?
himself.
Akta. Yeah.
Well,
Gets to respond to himself.
I'm gonna have
I think
Akuta
timeline
respond once
wise.
we get there.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna have Akuta respond once we get to that group.
Yeah, because I think timeline wise we are ahead of them, right?
You're a little ahead of them, yeah. You're a day or two ahead of them right now. I'll have to check my notes. But you traveled
But we
also
traveled.
2 days into
Yeah.
the deep.
It took like more than 1 day for us to reach the portal to the
Yeah.
devil's workshop.
Let me just double check.
And it took us 1 day to get to the thing.
Yeah, so it's IO 18th is once we got back to this story. IO 20th would be today. No, 21st. 21st is today for you guys, and then for the other group it's still 19th or 20th. I'll have to double check there.
I think it's the 19th. Or no, 20th. We're 1 day behind because it took us a day to travel.
Right. Yes.
We had that long rest, and then. Oh, or is it the 20th? No, because
Mm-hmm.
It's the 19th. Yeah, it's only been one
19th.
day.
Yeah.
Are
Went fast.
we
It was a lot. Yes. I'm
are we
sorry.
back with Jax and Irie next week, or are we back to the other party next week?
Nope, we're jumping to the other party.
Okay.
I will say I hadn't fully anticipated this to resolve the way it did.
Assault on Devil.
Yeah, I didn't fully expect that, or at least these developments. So I
think nobody did.
think
We also have to make a handful of dwarves.
It was
Yeah.
such a like as soon as he said like finally going to Krishnak, like I could feel the gears in my brain just set in place like I cannot bring this man there.
I
I
was
cannot.
like, one final hint, perhaps this tugs on someone's heartstrings or brain strings. I don't know, but
Well, I was not there.
yeah, but
So there's only really one brain present there. No offense, Jax.
But I think what we're gonna do is, I mean, we're gonna jump back to the other group. We're gonna catch up timeline-wise, see where they end up. Although I do believe theirs is a little bit more straightforward as of now.
I think what's
And
funny is the response to
wait.
that could be legitimately, because there's 2 days,
Mhm.
killed
Yeah.
the snake charmer. Negotiations went well. Clue didn't let me fight the orc leader.
And that's it.
Still salty about that, by the way. I do. It was gonna be the easier way to do it.
Fight me.
Yeah,
I'm way stronger than the.
Just
I'm
let me
way
at him.
stronger than the orc leader.
Just let me at him. Just let me at him.
I will find you a fight.
But is there anything you guys would like to do on this end? Or I'm down to also just accelerate the process and just travel montage, which will be once again 2 days, to that location, like to the entrance of the like lost mine location.
Yeah,
Hang on,
since we
which was
already did like the trip there, and there is, you know, nothing.
I'm a ranger.
Yeah, nothing quite like happened. We saw what could happen, but you know, even if something jumps us, it's just gonna be like a short combat, etc.
okay.
I
Yeah.
think we could just jump there and you know
Yep.
work out if we can get the portal to work again.
Watch out! I might throw.
Oh, Jax would go to the blacksmith before we leave,
Okay.
and he would provide the blacksmith with the piece of Luna Jade that he found.
Unfortunately,
Ah.
I'm black.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your assistance. Have you gotten to try your new weapon yet?
No, but I think it's gonna come in handy soon. So
Amazing. You'll have to tell me how it goes.
yeah, hopefully we're back here after, and we might be taking off. I don't know.
Where are you going this time? As he kind of just stows the Luna Jade away.
Wherever the wind takes me, pal.
Like that answer. We don't get much wind in here, but I respect it. And he kind of reaches out a hand to take yours and potentially say bid you adieu for one last time.
Yeah. Jack shakes, gives him like a little salute as he walks out the door.
Stay safe out there, soldier.
Aye, Captain. As he leaves.
All right. And then with that, you guys make your way all the way down to the ruins that you had inspected last time. I'm gonna skip the descriptions for the time being, but things will be a little different once you arrive there. Don't worry though, there are no snake encounters on the way.
God damn it. We find one poisonous snake.
Yes, please somebody roll. Actually, let me just pull up snake stats. There
Did
will
he hit
be
it
one.
doors?
There
I
will
don't
be
think-
one. Roll
I
me a
don't think I can
d6.
miss a snake. I don't think I can miss one.
Like visually or with an attack?
With an attack, I don't think I can
Nah.
miss hitting a snake.
A one is still an
Probably.
automatic miss.
Oh yeah, okay. I
Um,
can miss a snake.
There's always a 5% chance.
okay, give me about 1 minute. This snake is poisonous, by the way, not venomous.
God damn it.
What's the deal with snakes? I don't get it.
It's because in our Sunday campaign, like we're going through like a long travel montage, like several days, and each day we roll like for random encounters. And on our last session, it was kind of like we rolled a couple of encounters that were pretty like, we were attacked by a swarm of like 3 or 4 giant mosquitoes that were dead in like 2 or 3 turns. And another we were attacked by like a single big snake. And again, the snake was dead in like 1 turn. So we were kind of like, first we had like a whole conversation about poisonous and venomous and some shit like that. But also just the thing of like me and Nico didn't take like a single turn of combat between like multiple combat encounters simply because they were very inconsequential. So we kind of had had a conversation about at the end of the
Combining
session.
encounters.
Yeah, about being like, random encounters are nice, but it would be cool if they were either challenging or like relevant to the story.
Right.
Because just like being attacked with like 1 snake doesn't
Yeah,
really
'cause-
hit that much.
Yeah, because also the let's see if the snake hits.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Snake